do I need to do, Connie?
You'll be leading the pledges just like you did last night. And it should be on your script. Okay, we just need Mr. Bustillos. Okay.
I was just thinking about that. Hey, I hear that you're leading this in
Mr. Ochoa's birthday song.
and you're going to go pull Marilyn Monroe on us.
Oh, I was with you.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Before we proceed, I'd like to turn the meeting over to one of our outstanding students who received the President's Award tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the dais Jareth Libby from Eastwood High School.
Thank you, Ms. Woodruff. And good evening, everybody. My name is Jareth Libby, and I am a junior at Eastwood High School. As this month's recipient of the President's Award, it is my honor and my pleasure to call this meeting to order.
Good evening and welcome to the Ysleta Independent School District's meeting of the Board of Trustees. Whether you are here to address the board or to celebrate the accomplishments of those being honored here this evening, we appreciate that you have taken the time to join us. We invite you to share your comments with the board during the public comment portion of our meeting. The public comment sign-up cards show the rules for participating in public comment portion of our meeting. Remind everyone that this is a board meeting often attended by students and ask that we conduct ourselves in a manner that best represents the values and traditions of the Ysleta Independent School District. Please turn off or silence all cell phones, tablets, and other electronic devices, and thank you for your attendance. This meeting, the Board of Trustees, is called to order at 6:03 p.m. We have a quorum with Mike Rosales, Sotero Ramirez, Richard Cudier, Catherine Hairston, Carlos Bustillos, and myself, Connie Woodruff. Paul Pearson is out of country and excused for this meeting. Trustee Rosales, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Dr. Delatorre, do you have recognitions for this evening?
Madam President, members of the board, we have several recognitions this evening. At this time, I'll turn the program over to our Chief Communications Officer, Ms. Patricia Ayala.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent De La Torre. We have 4 recognitions for you this evening. At this time, we ask that you please come to the front of the dais for the presentations, and we also ask audience members to please remain seated until tonight's presentations are complete. Our first recognition is in honor of Jareth Libby, a model student whose dedication to his academics at Eastwood High School has resulted in a rare accomplishment. He received a perfect score this year in the English 2 end of course exam. His teacher said that in the course of her 20-year career, she has never seen another student achieve a perfect score. In fact, she said it's easier to get a 5 on the AP test than a perfect score on the EOC exam. Described as a natural writer by his teachers, Jareth's mastery of English came shining through in his perfect scores on all 5 parts of the English 2 EOC exam, including his essay. But Jareth's talents aren't limited to academics. He's also a talented musician who plays guitar and performs in a band. It is safe to say that despite his quiet demeanor, Jareth is making waves at Eastwood High School and will undoubtedly continue to excel during his time as a trooper. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to our President's Award recipient, Eastwood High School student, Jareth Libby. Accompanying Jareth is his teacher, Ms. Christine O'Leary. Let's hear it one more time for Jareth Libby. Our second recognition is in honor of 8 students from our Transition to Life Career Center who won first place in the citywide Special Olympics basketball tournament. Congratulations to these outstanding athletes for proudly representing the Ysleta Independent School District. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our gold medal winning TLCC Tribe basketball team, beginning with Christian Bernardino Rivera. Gabriel Delgado. Robert Fraser. Jonathan Posas. Daniel Salvidar. And Angelica Torres. The students are accompanied by instructional specialist Ms. Crystal Bauer and team coaches Mr. Frank Barajas and Mr. Henry Barcena. Let's hear it again. The next recognition is in honor of 3 students from Eastwood, Hanks, and Parkland High Schools who recently won medals at the regional and state UIL track and field championships. At the UIL Region 1 competition in Lubbock, Parkland High School graduate David Rodriguez captured the gold medal in shot put in the 5A division. 2 weeks later, at the state track and field championship in Austin, Hanks High School sophomore Michael Abetea won the gold medal in the 1,600-meter run in the 5A division. Also, at the state championships, Eastwood High School graduate Daniel Bernal took home the bronze medal in the 3,200 meter run in the 6A division. Daniel has also been named the 2017 El Paso Times High School Cross Country Runner of the Year, and just this past weekend won first place in the 2-mile run championship at the New Balance Outdoor Nationals in Greensboro, North Carolina. Congratulations to these talented athletes on their accomplishments. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our regional and state UIL track and field medalists, starting with Hanks High School sophomore Michael Abetia. Michael is accompanied by his coach, David McKinney, and principal, Ms. Gloria Spencer. Next, we have recent Eastwood High School graduate, Daniel Bernal. Daniel is accompanied by coach, Mr. Michael McLean. And last, we have recent Parkland High School graduate, David Rodriguez. David is accompanied by his coach, Mr. Victor Vasquez. Parents, you're welcome to come to the front to take photos if you like. Keep smiling. Let's hear it again for our outstanding track and field medalist. Our final recognition this evening is in honor of Bel Air High School student Emily Gonzalez, the winner of the 2017 Congressional Art Competition for District 16, which is represented by Congressman Beto O'Rourke. As the winner, Emily's artwork will hang in the hallways of the U.S. Capitol for 1 year, and she will be flown to Washington, D.C. to see the installation of her artwork. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me congratulate the 2017 Congressional Art Competition winner for District 16, Ms. Emily Gonzalez. Let's hear it again for Emily Gonzalez. Thank you. This concludes our recognitions for this evening.
The order of the business shall be as set out in this postage agenda unless changed by consensus of the board. During the board workshop, the following consent items were pulled for separate consideration. Consent item number 4 was pulled by Connie Woodruff. Item number 10 by Mike Rosales as recused. Item number 19 by Sotero Remedis as recused. And number 20 pulled by administration for a separate motion. Are there any other items you'd like to pull? These revisions will be considered the consensus of the board. Under item number 1 for the Office of the Superintendent, Dr. Delatorre, do you have reports for us?
President Woodruff, members of the board, just a brief report. The state has released results of this year's end-of-course exam for high schools. And once again, our high schools deserve high praise for earning the best scores in the region. Last year, the district had the highest EOC scores in the region in 4 out of 5 areas. This year, we have the highest EOC scores in all 5 subjects, including English 1, English 2, Algebra 1, Biology, and U.S. History. I'd like to congratulate our students, parents, campuses, and principals for the hard work, perseverance, and determination that resulted in these outstanding scores. We are confident that we will continue to see more of these achievements in years to come. Our campus leadership teams are already hard at work preparing for the upcoming school year. The summer break may be upon us, but throughout this week, our campus principals are here at the central office to undergo training and professional development to help them plan for the 2017-2018 academic year. Increasing student achievement across all grade levels and delivering excellence to all stakeholders is no easy feat, but we are thankful for the passionate persistence and dedicated employees and leadership that we have in this school district. I want to thank all of you for your support throughout the 16-17 school year. Much of what we accomplished would not be possible without your confidence and your bold persistence and ambitious persistence that we perform better and better every year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Delatorre. Okay, each of you has a copy of the unofficial certified final election results provided by the El Paso County Elections Administrator. These results are, in District Number 5, Cruz Ochoa received 1,090 votes, or 59.66%. Paul Pearson received 737 votes, or 40.34%. The winner is Cruz Ochoa. Using your electronic hand, is there any discussion? If there's no discussion, may I have a motion and a second on this item?
Ms. Woodruff, I move to approve certified final election results of the June 10th, 2017 runoff election as provided by the El Paso County Elections Administrator.
I second.
Okay, everybody can cast their votes. All votes have been cast. And that's approved 6-0. Thank you, board. Please stay seated while the swearing in is set up. On behalf of Ysleta, we welcome Commissioner Vince Pettis to the podium to swear in Mr. Cruz Ochoa.
Acting President Woodruff, members of the Board of Trustees, Superintendent Delatorre, good evening. My name is Vince Pettis. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. I serve as County Commissioner for Precinct 3 in El Paso County, but more importantly, I'm a proud graduate of Sageline Elementary, Branchline Middle, and Beller High School. I'm honored to be here to administer the oath of office for Mr. Cruz Ochoa. who was elected to represent the people of District 5 for the Board of Trustees. As I've indicated previously, oaths of office are often viewed as ceremonial documents or ceremonial things, but the oath of office is a very important document, and it's a very important promise that the elected official makes to the people, because once elected, they have an obligation to serve everyone. Now that the election is over, regardless of who people supported, the person selected has that obligation, and the oath of office is something that's required by state law for all elected officials, whether it be county commissioner or state representative or board of trustees. It's something that's required of all offices. So I'm honored to administer the oath for Mr. Cruz Ochoa.
Thank you very much.
Can you just repeat after me? Raise your right hand.
I, Cruz Angel Ochoa Jr.,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of School Board Trustee, District 5
of School Board Trustee, District 5
of the Ysleta Independent School District
of the Ysleta Independent School District
of the State of Texas,
of the State of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Thank you, Board of Trustees. It's an honor again to be here with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Before I ask Mr. Ochoa if he'd like to say a few words, I want to say something to the audience, and that is that this is Mr. Ochoa's birthday. So I think we should wish him a happy birthday. It has been our practice to invite each newly elected trustee to say a few words if they wish to do so. Trustee Ochoa, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I would. Thank you. It's a little bit emotional to be up here. It was a long struggle, a hard fight, but I'm here, and I'm here because of my family, my friends, and teachers, and everybody that went out to support me. And they gave me the inspiration. They were out there in the hot sun, walking, calling, campaigning at the sites, and you know how hot it was out there. So every time I was like, oh, I'm tired, but I looked out there and I saw them doing this, and I said, nah, there's more to it than just me. It's everyone here. So I appreciate everybody that voted for me and everybody that voted for Mr. Pearson. I think it was a tough fight. He put up a good fight, but I'm glad that I'm here to represent not only Hanks area, which I will be proud to do that, but also the Ysleta Independent School District, and I am a citizen of El Paso. So I think we're going to do well, fellow members here. I think we have a good board, we have a good staff, and I really look forward to working and getting things done. And I'm here, and we're all here for our kids, our children. They are our future, and I think that's what we need to make people understand. They are the future. So we are molding them, we are helping them, and we have to do the best we can. So thank you, and thank you for all your words of encouragement. And I'm glad to be here again, and thank you very much.
So we'll move on now to election of our board officers. The first one is nomination for president is Connie Woodruff by Sotero Ramirez. Are there any other nominations for this office? If not, all those in favor of Connie Woodruff for president, I think we're just going to take it by an aye vote. Say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay. Thank you. I, Connie Woodruff, will serve as our president. The nomination for vice president is Sotero Ramirez by Connie Woodruff. Are there any other nominations for this office? If not, all in favor of Sotero Ramirez for vice president, please say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed? Sotero Ramirez will serve as vice president. And he will be seated at my left at the next meeting. We're breaking up the crowd here, breaking up the brotherhood. The nomination for secretary is Mike Rosales by Connie Woodruff. Are there any other nominations for this office? If not, all those in favor of Mike Rosales for secretary, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed? So, thank you. Mike Rosales will serve as our secretary, and at the next meeting, he will be seated to the right of the superintendent. It's going to keep you in line, buddy. I would also like to ask Richard Coudier to serve as our parliamentarian. Trustee Coudier, would you accept this appointment?
It would be an honor, Madam President.
So appointed. Thank you. At the next meeting, you'll be seated to the left of Vice President Ramirez and Trustee Bustillos. At the meeting, you will take the present seat of Secretary Rosales. We will now recess the board to convene the same group of trustees, same group as the trustees also serve as the district's public facility corporation. This board of directors must be maintained due to the lease purchase of certain properties within the district as set up years ago. So so that was the recess. So now I call the YISD Public Facility Corporation Board of Directors to order with the following directors present: Mr. Rosales, Mr. Ramirez, Mr. Coudier, Mr. Ochoa, Ms. Hairston, Mr. Bustillos, and myself, Mrs. Woodruff. Our first order on this agenda is to elect officers for the YISD Public Facility Corporation Board of Directors. The administration recommends the same officers be used for both the Board of Trustees and for the PFC Board of Directors. Is there discussion? May I please have a motion for item number 1?
Madam President, I move to approve the 2017-19 officers of the Board of Trustees as the officers of the YISD Public Facility Corporation Board of Directors for that same time frame.
Okay, and we have a second by Mr. Coudier, but everybody please vote. All votes have been cast. Motion is approved 7-0. The order of the agenda has been approved. May I have an electronic motion and second on the remaining consent agenda? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I have to reconvene the board. I'm sorry. Yeah. So now, may I have a motion to adjourn the PFC meeting? I reconvene the Board of Trustees at 6:30 with the following present: Mike Rosales, Sotero Ramirez, Richard Cudier, Cruz Ochoa, Catherine Hairston, Carlos Bustillos, and myself, Connie Woodruff. The order of the agenda has been approved. May I have an electronic motion and a second on the remaining consent agenda items listed on this agenda as recommended by administration? Mr. Ramirez, would you like to read the motion?
Move to approve the consent agenda as listed.
We have a motion and a second. All votes have been cast, and that's approved 7-0. I will move on now to the pulled consent agenda items. The first one is number 4, donation from Imagine Learning in the amount of $25,000 for the 2017-18 convocation event. Using your electronic hand, is there any discussion? I just would like to say thank you to the Imagine Learning for helping us do this event. It's a very important event for the teachers and our staff so that we can get all revved up to start a new school year, and it's a very great donation to help us to be able to do a super job, like last year was such a good job. I'd like to say thank you to Imagine Learning. Does anybody else have a comment, or are we good? Okay. All right, so can I have a motion on this pulled consent agenda item?
I move to accept a donation from Imagine Learning in the amount of $25,000 for the 2017-18 convocation event.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Mr. Ochoa. The only one. Oh, there we go. All votes have been cast. 7-0. It is approved. Okay. Consent item number 10, approval of award of YISD solicitation number 217041 RFP property insurance. Using your electronic hand, is there any discussion? If not, may I have a motion and a second?
Madam President, I move to approve award of YISD solicitation number 217041 RFP property insurance as shown on solicitation documents for a not-to-exceed annual amount of $715,000 from various district funds during the period of July 1, 2017 to July 1, 2018, with the possibility of 3 one-year extensions.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All votes have been cast. We have 6 who say yes, 0 for no, and 1 abstention. Okay, so that is approved. Let's move on to number 19. Approval of YISD contract number 201700405 with El Paso Community College and University of Texas at El Paso for college prep courses. Using your electronic hand, is there any discussion? If there's no further discussion, may I have a motion and a second on this item?
To approve and award of the YSD contract 2017-0405 with El Paso Community College, EPCC, and the University of Texas at El Paso, UTEP, to develop and provide courses in college preparatory mathematics, English language arts during the period of July 1st, 2017 to June 30th, 2020, and may renew for 2 consecutive one-year terms by written notice at no cost to the district.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Okay, all votes have been cast. We have 6 yes, 0 no, and 1 abstention. Okay, moving on to number 9. No, we already did 19. Okay, number 20. For administration, pulled consent item number 20 has been pulled off the agenda for a future meeting.
I have a question. Madam President, as I understood on Monday that we were going to, can you explain, Ms. Sleeper?
So, yes, ma'am, we are continuing with the project. What I will likely do is bring it back for ratification in July, because we don't want to delay and unnecessarily keep students from experiencing the joys of a new campus and new paint. So it will be done immediately, but we'll bring it back for ratification. I just have a better plan for how we're going to pay for it and get it going, okay?
Thank you.
So absent objection, all policy action items will be considered through a single motion approving the items as recommended by TASB or the administration. So is there any objection or is there any discussion? Using your electronic hand, you can sign if you'd like to speak. No? Okay, so may I have an electronic motion and second on the policy action items listed on this agenda?
Okay. I move to approve both policy action items as listed on the agenda.
We have a mover and a second. That passes 7-0. Okay, moving on to our action items. Number 1, approval of award of YISD solicitation number bond 15 CSP BP 11 upgrades and alterations to J.M. Hanks High School. Using your electronic hand, is there any discussion? If there's no further discussion, may I have a motion and a second on this item?
Madam President, I move to approve award of YSD solicitation number bond 15 CSP BP 11 upgrades and alterations to J.M. Hanks High School with Aero Building Corp. For a not-to-exceed amount of $8,990,000 from bond funds, contingent upon final negotiations and in-house counsel review.
We have a motion and a second. All votes have been cast. And that's approved 7-0. Okay, action item number 2, approval of awards under YISD solicitation number 217032 RFQ, professional services for projects of limited scope. Using your electronic hand, is there any discussion? If there's no discussion, may I have a motion and a second on this item?
Madam President, I move to approve awards under YSD solicitation number 217032 RFQ, professional services for projects of limited scope during the period of July 1, 2017 to June 30th, 2018, for a not-to-exceed annual amount of $500,000 from various district funds with the possibility of 3 one-year extensions.
I have a motion and a second. And that item is approved 7-0. We have no further items on this agenda. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? And probably some applause because this is a record. Not going to end up.
Did we have a motion on that?